Good. Now, we're just going to go through the rakats of each namaz. So in Fajr, you have a total of 4 rakats, 2 sunnat, which sunnat muakkada. And remember this phrase, when I say muakkada, I'll explain this at the end. So 2 sunnat muakkada, 2 farz. In the Zohar prayer, you have 4 sunnat first, which is sunnat muakkada. Then you have 4 farz. Then you'll have 2 sunnat muakkada. And then you'll have 2 nafil. In Asr, you have 4 sunnat before the Asr faraz, but as you can see, it's not highlighted in green, which means it's sunnat ghair muakkada. I'll explain this in a minute, what the difference between muakkada and ghair muakkada is. And then you have the 4 faraz, and then you don't have any sunnats or nafils after the Asr prayer. In Maghrib, you don't have any sunnats before the Maghrib, so you have 3 faraz, you have 2 sunnat muakkada, and then you have 2 nafil, totaling 7 rakats. And Isha, before the Isha, you have 4 sunnat, but is ghair muakkada. Then you have 4 faraz, then you have 2 sunnat, which is sunnat muakkada. Then you have 2 nafil, then you have 3 witr, then you have 2 nafil, which is a total of 17 rakats. Jumu'ah, you have the 4 sunnat, which is sunnat muakkada before the Jumu'ah prayer. Then you have the 2 rakats faraz, and then you have 4 sunnat and 2 sunnat, which are both sunnat muakkada after Jumu'ah. So sunnat muakkada to read 4 sunnat and then 2 sunnat, and then you have 2 nafil, which is a 14 rakats in total. So you have a few words here. Number one is faraz. What is faraz? Faraz is what you have to do, regardless of your circumstance. Whether you are well or whether you have a flu, for example, you have a headache, etc. It's not something that's serious, you have to do it. Whether you are at home or whether you are on a journey, there are some guidelines. When a person is a musafir, there's some leeway. The 4 faraz, they are reduced to 2 faraz, but they're still faraz, so you have to read the faraz. Whether you are on the battlefield, this highlights the importance which we mentioned of namaz at the beginning. Even if you are on the battlefield, فَإِذَا كُنْتَ فِيهِمْ فَأَقَمْتَ لَهُمُ الصَّلَاةَ, in the Holy Quran, there's a method of how you should read if you are in the battlefield. So even if you are in the battlefield, you have to read your faraz prayers. So faraz, there's no way out. It must be read. Then you have wajib. Wajib, there's only one wajib namaz, which is the 3 witr in Isha. Wajib is essentially the same as a faraz prayer. It almost holds the same ranking as well. So you have to read the 3 witr as well. Then you have nafil. Nafil is voluntary. So if a person reads it, he will be rewarded. If he doesn't read it, he won't be sinful. Then you have sunnat. And there are 2 types of sunnat. One is sunnat muakkada, and muakkada means emphasize sunnat. So we should try and learn the Arabic terminology for it as well. Sunnat muakkada. Instead of me just saying the emphasized sunnat, learn the Arabic phrasing. Sunnat muakkada. And number 2 is ghair muakkada. What will that mean? If muakkada means emphasized, what do you think ghair muakkada means? No, it means not emphasized. So the sunnah that isn't emphasized. So missing sunnat ghair muakkada. So which prayers are sunnat ghair muakkada that we mentioned? This is where I'm testing you guys to keep you alert. Anybody, which prayers are not sunnat ghair muakkada? So the 4 rakat sunnat before Asr is sunnat ghair muakkada, and there's one more in Isha as well. The 4 sunnat before Isha is ghair muakkada. So ghair muakkada holds the same rank as a nafil prayer. Which is, if you read it, you will be rewarded. If you miss it, you won't be sinful. And that leaves us with one more type. What's that type? Sunnat muakkada, which we've not explained. So sunnat muakkada, what's the ruling of sunnat muakkada? Sunnat muakkada, highly emphasized sunnat, is that if a person misses this, occasionally he misses it due to some excuse, he won't be sinful. But if a person makes a habit of missing sunnat muakkada, he will be sinful.